Two rides took me to Bakersfield, 400 miles south. The first one was the mad one. A burly blonde kid in a souped-up rod. "See that toe?" he said as he gunned the heap to 80 and passed everybody on the road. "Look at it." It was swathed in bandages. "I just had it amputated this morning. The bastards wanted me to stay in the hospital. I packed my bag and left. What's a toe?" "Yes, indeed," I said to myself. "Look out now," and I hung on. You never saw a driving fool like that. He made Tracy in no time. Tracy is a railroad town. Brakemen eat surly meals in diners by the tracks. Trains howl across the valley. The sun goes down long and red. All the magic names of the valley unroll. Manteca, Madera, all the rest. Soon it got dusk, a grapey dusk, a purple dusk over tangerine groves and long melon fields. The sun the color of pressed grapes, slashed with burgundy red. The fields the color of love and Spanish mysteries. I stuck my head out the window, took deep breaths of the fragrant air. It was the most beautiful of all moments. The madman was a brakeman with the SP, and he lived in Fresno with his father. His father was also a brakeman. His lost toe, he lost it in the Frisco yard switching. I didn't quite understand how, though. He drove me into buzzing Fresno and let me off the south side of town. I went for a quick Coke in a little grocery store by the tracks, and here came a melancholy Armenian youth along the red boxcars and just sat a moment. And a locomotive howled, and I said to myself, "Yes, yes, Oroyan's in town. Whither thou went that morad? To what glooms? What Fresno dreams?" I had to go south. I got on the road. A man in a brand new pickup truck picked me up. He was from Lubbock, Texas, and he was in the trailer business. "You want to buy a trailer?" he asked me. "Anytime, look me up." He told stories about his father in Lubbock. "One night my old man, he left the day's receipt sitting on top of the safe, plumb forgot." Well, what happened? A thief came in the night, acetylene torch and all, broke open the safe, rifled up the papers, kicked over a few chairs and left, and that $1,000 was sitting right there on top of the safe. What do you know about that? It was an amazing story. What time I was making, too. 400 miles in 7 hours ahead of me burned the vision. Gold in Hollywood, nothing behind me, everything ahead of me as is ever so on the road. He left me off the south side of Bakersfield, and then my adventure began. It grew cold. I put on the flimsy army raincoat I'd bought in Oakland for $3 and shuddered in the road. I was standing in front of an ornate Spanish-style motel that was lit like a jewel. The cars rushed by, LA bound. I gestured frantically. It was too cold. I stood there till midnight, 2 hours straight, and cursed and cursed. It was just like Stewart, Iowa again. There was nothing to do but spend a little over $2 for a bus, the remaining miles to Los Angeles. I walked back along the highway to Bakersfield and into the station, sat down on a bench. In the madness of the night, you can never dream what will happen. And I never dreamed I'd sit on that bench a week later, going north and under the wildest and dearest circumstances. I'd bought my ticket and was waiting for the LA bus when all of a sudden I saw the cutest little Mexican girl in slacks coming across my sight. She was in one of the buses that had just pulled in. Her breasts stuck out straight and true. Her little flanks looked delicious. Her hair was long and black, and her eyes were great big blue things with a soul in it. I wished I was on the same bus with her. A pain stabbed my heart as it did every time I saw a girl I loved who was going the opposite direction in this too big world of ours. The announcer called the LA bus, and I picked up my bag and got on it. And who should be sitting alone in it but the Mexican girl? I sat right opposite her and began scheming right off. I was so lonely, so sad, so tired, so quivering, so broken, so beat. All of it had been too much for me. But I got up my courage. The courage necessary to approach a strange girl, and acted. Even then, I spent 5 minutes beating my thighs in the dark as the bus rolled. You gotta, you're gonna die. Damn fool, talk to her. What's wrong with you? Aren't you tired of yourself by now? And before I knew what I was doing, I leaned across the aisle to her. She was trying to sleep on the seat, and I said, "Miss, would you like to use my raincoat for a pillow?" She looked up with a smile and said, "No, thank you very much." I sat back trembling. I lit a butt. I waited till she looked at me with a sad little side look of love, and I got right up and I leaned over. "May I sit with you, miss?" "If you wish." And this I did. "We're going." "LA." I love the way she said LA. I love the way everybody says LA on the coast. It's their one and only golden town when all is said and done. That's where I'm going too. I'm very glad you let me sit with you. I was very lonely, and I've been traveling a hell of a lot, and we settled down to telling our stories. Her story was this. She had a husband and a child, and the husband beat her, so she left him back at Selma, south of Fresno, and was going to LA to live with her sister a while. She left her little son with her family, who were grape pickers, and she lived in a shack in the vineyards. She had nothing to do but brood. I felt like putting my arms around her right away, and we talked, and she said she loved to talk to me. Pretty soon she was saying she wished she could go to New York too. Maybe we could, I laughed.